I would like to talk about cyclists on the road. They should really be on the pavement. The government have made a stupid rule saying that bicyclists can't ride on pavement. People with learning difficulties and mental health problems cannot handle that. I once bought a bike, rode it on the pavement, got pulled by the police saying that I'd be fined if I didn't go on the road and cycle, and I had some dickhead bibbing his horn in his own vehicle, rushing me along, and I was looking behind me and I wasn't looking where I was going, and I almost got hit by a bus because I went into the opposite lane. Now, this rule should be abolished because we should be able to ride on a pavement. People with learning difficulties should have to be riding on the pavement, because if some person with a learning difficulty gets hit by a car and decides to sue the government for fucking creating a rule that gets them killed, good on them, because I don't know how they've managed to bloody screw the human race up so far. To be honest, I reckon all cars should be abolished from the road, melted down, recycled into bicycles, and we should all go on a health kick. Because I am getting fed up. I've had to sell my bike because I don't want to end up being dead because some fucking dickhead government puts a rule out saying that we cannot fucking ride on the road. Well, we can't ride on the pavement. We shouldn't have to ride on the road if someone's going to get killed because some fucking impatient wanker in a car is bibbing his horn. So, if the law hasn't changed by the end of next year, or the year after that, maybe 2020, we should have the cars recycled, melted down into bikes, get rid of all vehicles, get people on bikes, get healthy. Would be a lot more easier, and it would be a lot more better for the environment. Because every time I walk along the street, I see cars, bikes. One of these days someone's going to get hit by a bike and get killed. And I don't want that, because it means that the government have strayed from the path of insanity. It means that they're insane, nutty, and they shouldn't be allowed to run the government, because for one, I want to be safe on the road. If I'm going to ride a bike, I want to be safe on the road. So if the government don't recycle all cars on the road, they shouldn't be running the government in the first place, because they're going to get people killed by putting a law out saying that you can't ride on a fucking pavement. Because if someone gets killed because of it with mental health problems and a bit fucking, you know what I mean, lawsuits would be flying through the air and the government would have to change the rules. So either the government change the rules and allow people with mental health problems ride on a fucking pavement, or they get sued to the eyeballs, no government pensions, no nothing, and people will be pissed off because one person got hit by a car because they had mental health problems, because they couldn't fucking keep their eye on the road because some fucking wanker at the back of them was fucking bibbing his horn, rushing people along. The only reason why I bought the damn thing was to keep healthy and get me gut down. And I can't do that now because some fucking tithead almost got me killed. So either the government changes the rule back to allowing people with bicycles on the pavement, or there'll be one, maybe 5 in 10 deaths every time someone's fucking riding a bike, because one of these days someone's going to ride a bike and get killed by a bus or a car. or any sort of vehicle that runs on 4 wheels. So the government needs to change the rules to allow people that have got bicycles on the pavement, because it's not safe on the roads with dickhead, impatient wankers bibbing their horn and causing accidents. Every time I hear a horn, that's because some fucking poor sod on a bike is taking his time because he doesn't want to rush, because he'll end up getting run over by a bus or a car or a van. So they need to change the rules, because one of these days some poor sod's going to get hit by a car. If they survive, they will take them to court, the government, because they're an idiot organisation. The British government are a joke, like I said in a few videos ago. The bureaucratic fucking joke. I don't know, Britain has survived with poor bastards on the road that are trying to ride their bikes without getting hit by a bus because some wanker is bibbing his horn at them, telling them to hurry along. So if you do not fucking change the rules, that's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be suing the government for designing a stupid rule that allows a bike to be ridden on a road and not on a pavement, which is a lot more safer, doesn't involve many deaths. Because I've heard a lot about bicyclists dying because they get hit by vehicles because impatient wankers in the back of them are fucking bibbing their horn. And I almost got killed by a bloody bus trying to ride on the pavement, get pulled over by the police, get told to be riding on the fucking road or I get fined. For one, I've got mental health problems as it is. I can't concentrate on a road when someone at the back of me is fucking bibbing his horn. I almost got killed by a bus because some tithead in a car, most likely a woman or a bloke, needs to be patient with bicycle drivers, because one of these days that individual is going to get hit by a bus, and then the government are going to get sued by that individual for almost getting them killed. So either they change the rules, get all bikes off the road and on pavements, or you're going to end up with loads of deaths, maybe 5 deaths a year, maybe 10, or recycle all vehicles, turn them into bikes, and get rid of all vehicles, motorcycles, bikes. The only vehicles that should be allowed on the road are taxis, ambulances, police cars, fire engines and buses. So those are the only vehicles that should be allowed on the road. No other vehicle, not even civilian vehicles. All civilian vehicles should be melted down and turned into scrap and turned into new bikes for people that want to get healthy and fit. Because we have become fat, lazy idiots in cars that don't fucking want to exercise. Me, I want to get on a bike, get healthy, and survive a couple of decades so I can actually see my nephews and nieces grow up. So, to the government, if you're going to actually screw people out of life, in other words, get them killed because of one stupid rule of putting your fucking bicycles on the road instead of the pavement, because the pavement's safer and it doesn't involve getting killed by a car or a bus or a van. So I'm imploring the government to remove that stupid rule, because if you don't, there's going to be a lot of angry parents when some poor sod's kid some poor parent's kid decides to take it into their own hands and have the government charged for their kid's death. So it's up to you, government. If you want to act out the stupid laws of stupidness, I should suggest that you change the rules and allow bikes on the road, because it's going to get people killed if they're riding on the road, because I almost got killed and I've got learning difficulties. I can't fucking ride on the road, so I had to go. When I actually nearly got hit by a bike, I took it straight back to where I bought it from, and then I only had it for a week, the bike. I wanted to get into a health kick so I could actually survive a couple of decades instead of getting cancer or anything because I'm not healthy enough. So you change the rules back to the way they were, allowing bicycles on the pavements, or a load of parents are going to be suing the arse off yous for inventing a stupid rule that allows pavements no access and cars killing kids on their bikes, because you're a bunch of idiots, plain and simple. So I suggest the government start changing the rules and allowing bikes back on the pavement, or you're going to have a lot of angry parents with kids in hospital with broken legs and arms because they got hit by a bus, or even better, dead with brain injury. So change the rules, or no one's going to be voting for you. I won't vote for you. I won't vote for the government because they're a bunch of slack-jaw idiots, because I don't need this or any other thing to get me killed.